or if it was a Raptors player. I get it. It was basically a delay of the game, but is that a tech? I mean, you can call a foul on him, but that was very key in that game. The Raptors could have took that and won that game just off of that play, because you go back, I think that was, who was that? That was Danny Green that hit a three. And then you get down to the final play of the game. Steph is being trapped. He tries to throw a pass to Livingston. If Livingston just stood there and allowed the pass to come to him, Kawhi would have intercepted that, took that down, game probably would have been over. But Livingston ran towards the ball. He got the ball. And guess who was wide open? And I'm talking about wide open. I'm talking about he could have ran. I mean, it was, if the definition of wide open, you look it up in the dictionary, and it would have been that particular play right there. Iggy drains the three. He drains the three. Game over. Clutch Iguodala, like he has done in multiple instances. I think it was Chauncey Billups that said he is the modern day Robert Horry. I don't know if I put him in the Robert Horry category, because Robert Horry had like 7 game-winning three-pointers in the playoffs. My pop says Raptors' game plan is to stop Steph. Steph's in Lowry's head, strength in numbers. Melvin says after the foul created by Curry was called for a tech for throwing the ball in the air. Yeah, that to me, that's not a tech. I don't see that as a technical foul. I see that as a foul that you would just call, but a tech. So Toronto was in this game. They were in the game, and if you're in the game, that means it gives you an opportunity to win. You left Andre Iguodala, Finals MVP, wide open. You double Steph. You double teamed Steph Curry, which I get it. If you want to play the numbers, who do you want to shoot that shot? You want Andre Iguodala or you want Steph Curry? And the answer to that question is you want Andre Iguodala to shoot that shot. You don't want Steph Curry to do that. So, I mean, Nick Nurse played the numbers. He played the numbers, and it didn't work out. I mean, it's going to happen that way. And I think that was disrespectful to Iggy. But at the end of the day, what do you decide to do? You have to put the best. You got to play the best possible defense you can play at that particular time. And I think he did the best he can do. The best he can do didn't obviously work. And I would also say, like I've said this before, it's only a bad shot if you miss. And he made it. So it's not a bad shot. I would, when he shot the shot, I should say, it did look like a bad shot because you're shooting a 3 and you really only need 2. But he was wide open, and he drained it, and the game's over. So at this point, we're talking about it afterwards, as we're doing. But Clutch Iggy, that's what I was going to name the title of the show, until I heard Klay Thompson say, "See you in the Bay, Aubrey." That's the classic line right there from now on. That is a classic line from now on. So Klay ended up ending the game with 25, Steph Curry with 23. The surprise of the game really was Siakam. Siakam only giving you 17 points. He almost had a triple-double. Oh, I'm sorry. Siakam only had 12 in the game, 0 for 3 from the 3. Danny Green giving you 8. Another big surprise, Cousins playing 28 minutes, almost had a triple-double. Draymond 1 assist away from a triple-double. And this is on a game where Kawhi Leonard gave you 34 points and 14 rebounds. So now the big question is, the question of the day, the question of the hour is, how does the Raptors respond? If you want to be a team known as a champion, how do you respond to this defeat? Do you come back and win game 3? That's what makes this series interesting, because so far it's been a back and forth. It's 1-1. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Everybody tuning in, give me your thoughts on game 3. I have the Warriors winning. It's going to be very, very difficult. Very, very difficult to win in Oakland. Extremely difficult. And you think of a shooter like Gasol, who's really not a shooter, but the game 1 he had and then the game 2 that he had, can he bounce back? Can he give you those key points? Danny Green, who had a good game 1 and not so good game 2. Question mark on KD, question mark on Clay, question mark on Looney. Question mark on Steph, if his fever is gone or whatever was the deal with him. But game 3 is going to be great, just like the first 2 games, in my opinion. All right, so we went heavy NBA Finals game 2. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we got a huge upset in boxing. We got Stanley Cup talk. And we have Champions League Soccer. I do want to shout out the champion and the Benny Awards. So you can put those in the chat room whenever you feel free. And if you're a new listener, first of all, thank you. Second of all, a Benny Award is to the top performer of the weekend. So whoever that may be, however many you have. Also, if you're listening to this show via the podcast and it's not live, thank you. I'm talking to you on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer, whatever it may be. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. You're tuned into the Weekend Wrap-Up Show, episode 131. See you in the Bay Aubrey. We'll be right back.
We all hate when we have unexpected car problems. Well, I am here to tell you about a viable solution. Bay 11 Auto and my man Melvin. You have emission problems? Brakes need changing? Transmission slipping? Is your car just driving sluggish? No problem is too big. I live on the other side of town and I drive over an hour to a guy that I trust. Melvin is honest, dependable, and definitely not in the business to break your pockets. Come see the official mechanic Melvin at Bay 11 Auto. You will be glad you did. You can reach him at 1455 General Arts Road, Conyers, Georgia, or 404-295-5715. That's 404-295-5715.
Being good at life means getting your finances together so you can focus on the moments that matter most. With over 170 years of expertise, New York Life Insurance Company provides you with benefits you can enjoy while you're, well, living. So give me, Doug Stewart, your local New York Life agent, a call. I can help you build a solid financial future to help you and your family be good at life. You can reach me at 678-770-8073 or look for me at newyorklife.com.
Welcome back to the Weekend Wrap-Up Show. In the background, we got a beat playing by Maestro Styles, co-host of the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. He'll be coming up on Tuesday, their show, Barbershop Sports Talk podcast, coming up on X Squad Radio for the remainder of the day. We will have DJ Knox, 3:30 Central, and we'll have Clutch Talk Sports on Sports Radio America, which is on the TuneIn app at 3 Central. So make sure to keep it locked. Also, The Greatest with Midnight Love Jones coming on at 10 Central, to tuck you in bed. My pop says Chef Curry will have some home cooking in the Oracle and serve up 40 points. I think he is going to have definitely have a better game. I don't know if I'm going to say 40, Pops, but I will say Steph will be in rare form. No doubt about that. And if you're tuning in, join in on the show chat room. It is easy. It is free. Create a profile. Just come in and say hi. Come in and give me your thoughts. I will give you a shout out. I will talk about what you're talking about, and you can join in on the conversation. So, one of the biggest upsets in boxing history, Andy Ruiz Jr. shocks Anthony Joshua with a 7th round TKO. Not only did Andy Ruiz win this boxing match, but it was not only a win for himself, but it was a win for the chubby guy. It was a win for the fat boxer guy. And he outskilled Anthony Joshua, the champion, the one with 4 belts. He outskilled and outpunched Anthony freaking Joshua. I didn't see the fight. I went back and checked out the recap and the highlights. But I didn't even think about watching it because I thought Anthony Joshua was going to win. But Ruiz makes history. He is the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion. And the bigger part of this whole story is that he wasn't even supposed to be in the fight. Anthony Joshua was supposed to fight Jarrell Miller, who failed multiple drug tests. But being called on at the last possible minute and coming in and not only beating Joshua, but he dominated him. Courtney, you hit the nail on the head. Ruiz was out of shape and destroyed Joshua. Facts. I did not see that happening. If I had to predict that in a million years, I probably would have said, you're lying. I probably would have said, you're a liar. That's not true. That cannot happen. That will not happen. That's what I would have told anyone in their right mind that would have said that Andy Ruiz Jr. would have beat Anthony Joshua. I just found out who this guy was, literally, when he was announced to replace Jarrell Miller. That's when I found out who Andy Ruiz is. And now he holds the championship belts. So now, let's see how this heavyweight division pans out now. Because you have got Deontay Wilder already signing up to fight Fury. And he's got another fight with Luis Ortiz. You have Anthony Joshua, who I'm assuming would want a rematch with Ruiz. Now, after all of those fights I just mentioned, I guarantee now at this point, Anthony Joshua can't come to the table and say, I have all the belts when it comes to him and Wilder. So I think this Wilder fight is going to get done sooner rather than later, which I think we're going to probably look at next year towards the end of 2020, because there's no excuse at this point. The excuse is not I'm the champion, so I want more money. You're not the champion anymore. Shout out to Mo Cheese in the building. So now this puts Joshua versus Wilder fight on hold. It does, but I think after he fights Ruiz, I think you have to consider it. And you know Deontay Wilder was going to come out and talk trash. You know he was. And he said in regards to Anthony Joshua, he wasn't a true champion. His whole career was consisted of lies, contradictions, and gifts, calling him out. Facts, and now we know who was running from who. I mean, he's right, though. There is no